Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this opportunity, we will make a video to complete our final test of the Introduction to American Studies. And in this video, we will explain two materials during our Introduction to American Studies lecture. And both of us will explain a material. And before that, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Alifia Salsabila Fajari and my friends.
Laluna, Tian, Salsabila.
So let's start our explanation, and I will go first to explain the material. So I will explain in this opportunity. I will explain one material uh, that taught during the Introduction to American Studies lecture, and the material that I will explain is about the branches of government. And so the American government is a federal system, and the federal government is composed of three distinct branches. They are executive, legislative, and judicial. And the Constitution of uh, the United States uh, divide the federal government into three branches to make sure that no individual or no group that will have too much power. So the first I will explain the executive branch. The executive branch has a role to enforce the nation's law, and this branch is led by the president, who lead the country, and the presidents have has duties. The duties are to enforce federal laws and recommend new ones, and serve as commander in chief of the armed force, army, navy, air force, and marines, and meet with the president of other country. And the president also helped by the president's cabinet who carrying out the laws of the United States, and the president uh, and in the president's cabinet there they are vice president and department heads who advise the president on issues and help carry out policies. And the vice president serves as president of the Senate and becomes president if the president can no longer do the job. It means uh, the vice president can replace the president if the president can no longer do the job. And in the parliament, the leader is called secretary, who make up the president cabinets. And there are several cabinets in the departments. The first is Department of Education. This department provides money for public school and loans to help people attend college. And then the Department of Transportation is this department is charged of highway planning and construction. And then the next department is Department of Agriculture, and this department is have the role to support the farmer and to develop and expand market abroad for agricultural products. And the next is Department of the Treasury. This department recommend ways to help the economy of the country. And there are some others cabinet in departments, but I will continue to explain the next branch of the American government, and the next branch of American government is the judicial branch. This branch has a role to evaluate the laws, and this branch is made up of the court system. And the court system, they are they are the Supreme Court and other federal courts. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the land, and the Supreme Court is the head of the government of this judicial branch. And the Supreme Court uh, is responsible for deciding that whether uh, whether the laws violate the Constitution. And other federal courts were established by Congress, while the Supreme Court is established by the Constitution. And the next branch is legislative branch. Uh, the legislative branch has the role to make laws, and the legislative branch is include Congress, and the Congress is made up of two parts. There is there are the House of Representative and the Senate, and uh, the Congress has a primary duty is to write and debate and pass bill, which are then passed on the president for approval to become laws. The House of Representative uh, in the House, representation is based on the number of people living in each state. Therefore, states with larger population have more representation than states with smaller population. Each state has at least one representative in the House. For example, in Pennsylvania state, uh, in this state has a larger population, and the other one is Delaware State. In this state has a smaller population. So Pennsylvania is the population of Pennsylvania is larger than Delaware. So the Pennsylvania has more representative than Delaware. And each representative serve a term of 2 years. When the term is over, people from that state may choose to elect a new representative or keep the same one. And the condition to be the representative for each state is be at least 25 years old and be a US citizen for the past 7 years. And the last is live in the state you represent. While the Senate, each of the 50 states sends two people to the Senate, and so there are a total of 100 senators. This means that each state has equal representation in the Senate, and each senator serves a term of 6 years. When their 6 year term is over, the people from that state may choose to elect a new one to be a senator or keep the same one. And the condition to be a senator is are be at least 30 years old and be a U.S. citizen for the past 9 years and live in the state you represent. And each Senate and House representative have their own duties. Senate can vote on any treaties the president makes, review and approve presidential appointees such as cabinet secretaries and Supreme Court justice, and then hold a trial for a government official who does something wrong, while the House of Representatives can have a duties to recommend tax bill to become law and decide if government officials should be put on trial before the Senate if commits a crime against the country. So I think that's all my explanation about the branches of U.S. government. So the next, Luna, you can go to explain your material.
Alright, thank you, Fia, for your explanation. And now I will tell about my material, and the title is Women's Rights Movement. So, the feminist movement, or also known as women liberation movement, or simply called feminism, it refers to a series of political campaigns for reforms on issues such as reproductive growth, domestic violence, maternity leave, equal pay, women's suffrage, sexual harassment, and sexual violence, all of which fall under the label of feminism and the feminist movement. And feminism in parts of the Western world has gone through three waves. And I will explain the first wave. So the first wave, feminism is in the 19th and early 20th centuries, focused on women's illegal rights, especially the rights to vote, seat, women's suffrage. They were seen as a major sources of temptation and evil. So women were also considered naturally weaker than men. And in this era, it's popular of the flappers or where the young women known for their energetic freedom, embracing a lifestyle by many at the times outrageous, immoral, or downright dangerous, and now considered the first generation of independent American women. Flappers push barriers in economic, political, sexual freedom for women. And the characteristic of the flappers is she has short bob hair and then short hems on their skirt and listen to jazz music, wear makeup, drunk, hardly liquor, smoke cigarettes, and treating sex in a more casual manner. Next era is the Equal Rights Amendment era. This is amendment to U.S. Constitution designed to quarter to equal legal rights for all American women, regardless of sex. It seeks to end the legal distinction between men and women in matters of divorce or property, employment, and other matters. And this Equal Rights Amendment is introduced by Alice Powell and Crystal Eastman. And next is a pink coral. Pink coral worker is someone who working in the care-oriented career field or in fields historically considered to be women's work. And this pink coral era, it gave women a taste to give a woman a taste of work world, and sometimes she get a low paying service than a man. And the example of the jobs is a nurse, telephone operator, and then secretaries, and also teachers. Now I will explain about the second wave of feminism. This second wave of feminism is in a period in early 1916 in the United States and eventually spread through all the Western world and beyond. In the US, this movement lasts through the early 1918s and organized activism by an old behalf of women continued through the third and fourth waves of feminism from the middle of 19th and the early 2010s. It's a third waves of feminism respectively. For more discussion of historical and contemporary feminism and the women's movement, They inspired anti-feminism. Women's rights movement, also called women's liberation movement, the first social movement largely based in the US, and that in the 1916th and 17th sought equal rights and opportunities and greater personal freedom for women in condition with an recurrence as a part of the second wave of feminism. And the uh, I think that's it. I think that's it about the feminism, the third feminism waves. And now I will more talk about the National Organization for Women. It's founded in 1966, founded by a group of people including Betty Friedan and Rev. Pauli Murray, the first African American woman Episcopal prioress. And Betty Friedan became the organization's first president. And the goal of uh, national organizer national organization for women is to bring out about the equality for all women. All right, guys. I think that's all about the uh, women's right or feminism in US.
Okay, Luna, thank you for your explanation. So I think that's all about our explanation about women's right movement and the branches of the government. So thank you for your attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.